Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark. If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to Season 2 of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. To all our old and new listeners, we're excited to have you here with us. ClockTower is a D&D campaign turned audio drama, played with a custom class and a few house rules that we as a group collectively enjoy. If you find yourself getting a little lost, there's always older episodes to guide you back to the path. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower. As Berret follows Undel through the various different halls and corridors of the Athenaeum, you get to two very heavy wooden doors that he pushes open, and you see the fires in the torches that line the walls and light up the entire room with a warm glow sort of flicker a little bit as the air fluctuates in this room to the air in the hallway outside, almost going out, but not quite. And you see, as the light is kind of dim, he goes over to the wall and you see there's a little dial that he reaches over and sort of casually gives a couple half turns to. And then you see all of the torches along the walls. The flame gets bigger and brighter. And all around the room, you suddenly can see the workshop. And it is full of furnaces and workbenches and all kinds of tools that are all variously hanging from these like long chains coming down from the ceiling. You see that there are different like hooks and ratchets and pulleys to lift heavy objects up. There's different armor on stands. There's various different molds for weapons, for casting. You're not exactly sure what it is, but it looks like a giant block sitting right above another block. And it's got various different like grooves in it to set tools, so that the two blocks smash into each other to forge whatever is there. And Berret, there's this one thing that immediately seems to catch your eye, and it's like in the back corner of the room. If the right corner was this like massive, kind of scary forge to like forge godlike weapons, to the left of that, there is this sort of like series of magnifying glasses and different circles that seem to have these like carved runes in them, and they're sort of like flask-like objects and things all around it, and it's just sort of this like weird mishmash of what looks like maybe alchemy supplies, but that doesn't seem quite right, as well as like looks like observation equipment, like you might expect to be in a telescope or like someone doing a lot of astrology, as well as like sort of like a drafter's desk, but there's just sort of, it's all focused around this like big ring in the center and this sort of pedestal in the middle of the thing. And you're like, that's obviously a forge, but I have no idea what that thing is.
Whoa, what's that? Is that for enchanting or something?
What?
The table over there with all the gizmos.
Oh, well, we call it the Oracle, Oracle class. Mm-hmm. But we only call it that because it's a tool specifically designed to help us understand all of the intricate magical properties and makeup of any various different weapons, items, armor that we find, so that we can either deconstruct it or learn what it does, or make it ourselves.
Neat.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get very much use because
nothing worth inspecting, huh?
Yeah. Any of the good stuff gets confiscated, so I'm only able to make blessed weapons and armor and, the usual. He says in the most, sad, uninspired way ever.
Can I go look at it?
Yeah, man, go. Sure. He looks at you as if he's like questioning why you're so interested in the Oracle, but it's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of cool. Like, whatever.
Never seen one before, so.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of forges, but I've never seen one of these.
As you walk up, the like middle disc adjusts itself, and like several of the different things on the side of it seem to like extend, and like a little like square cube that's floating in nothing around several different other rings like adjusts, and you're like,
I put my hands up like I didn't do nothing.
no, it does that. It's very enchanted. I mean, you gotta consider it was created by my dad. I'm sorry, that's disrespectful. It was created by Hephaestus to be a tool for us. He can just kind of see what everything is made out of, but I can't do that. So the Oracle is a tool made to help people learn what other things are made out of.
You and your dad get along as he's like poking at the...
Evidently not, considering I'm here.
Well...
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't be going into the finals.
Could be tough love.
No. No one who's loved ends up here.
Well, would every sword that's gone and gotten quenched be loved or just forgotten, or would it ever be picked up in the first place? I assume if you're here, he expects more from you, right?
Roll a persuasion check. I'll give you a roll for it without him just outright being like, no.
13.
Well, that was a very weird way of saying that, but yeah, I guess you have a point. Maybe he expects me to come out of this. He like puts up two fingers like fire, stronger, but I don't think so.
And you said you haven't used this in a while?
I mean, I've used it on just about everything that I can. I don't have anything useful or interesting to use it on now. Why do you?
I might. I don't know.
He looks at you with like an expression that begs the question of, go on?
Well, I don't know. I guess there's these as I pull out one axe.
He actually jumps like he was startled and goes, where did you get that? Where did that go? That just appeared out of nowhere. What the fuck?
I got a couple friends that'd be interested in this thing.
No, stop. Go back. You've just manifested an axe out of nowhere.
Gift from my dad.
Roll deception.
15 total.
By 1.
I'm just cool, just enough. I'm just cool enough for this would be believable.
He goes,
I like this guy.
huh. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, put it in there. Yeah. Can you summon other weapons?
No.
Or just that strange... He like stares longingly at it. Strange axe.
I mean, I like give him like an eye up and down, like scanning him really quick, like, I guess. As I just put it under the Oracle and take one step back.
Berret, you put the axe on the small pedestal to be examined by the Oracle, and the Oracle starts sort of adjusting its many lenses and rearing around it as all the different mechanical pieces start to go circling around each other. Pistons go in and out as it goes faster and faster and faster, to the point where the mechanical pieces start to scream and have like smoke coming out of them just from like the lubrication that's on them burning up.
Is it supposed to do that?
Undel is just staring at it in shock. He like goes, no, and then it explodes.
I assume glass goes everywhere.
Yeah, make a dex save.
Yeah, okay. I would like to use my ClockTower coin to make it look like I'm using Deflect Missile and give him a bonus to his evasion.
Roll your ClockTower die.
3.
He succeeds on his evasion, and now he takes no damage. So you, Berret, whip out your other axe, you jump in front of him, and as the explosion, you sort of move out of the way of it. You use your axe and just absorb the energy that was going to hit him. Your axe sort of buzzes and vibrates with the energy, and you kind of just like flick the axe and dissipate the energy. Undel is basically on the ground now. And he looks up at you, just like, that shouldn't have happened. He doesn't even act like that unless you have something Like, if you, like, put a piece of a god in there, maybe it would act like that, but it shouldn't.
I help him up off the ground and, like, dust him off.
He, like, pushes you away for a second and goes over to the axe that's still on the pedestal in the wreckage of the thing, and he, like, looks at it like, I should have adjusted the machine while it was looking at it. I could have made it so that the Oracle could figure out what...
then.
No, I could have... You don't understand. He, like, looks at it, he's like, it's broken now. If I had known, if I had realized how powerful this axe your father had given you, the god Ares had given you, then I could have... I could have adjusted it. I could have made it so that the Oracle could actually tell us what it was made out of and not explode. But I just had no idea. I didn't know it was this powerful. What is this?
Sorry.
He, like, picks it up and he's like, why is it so heavy?
It's not meant for you, as I go into my hand.
How did you do that?
I give him the calm down hands. You okay?
I'm better than okay. I am excited and furious, and the Oracle is broken. And I want to know what those are, but I can't now because the Oracle is broken.
Can we fix it?
No! Only Hephaestus can fix it. And that's not happening.
Sorry. Yeah,
It's like the muses have come down and blessed me. And as a cruel turn of fate, I'm unable to do anything with all of this inspiration.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know how to help you here.
And then he freezes. As if time has just stopped. Even the flickering flames just stop.
As I go, oh shit, I look at my pocket watch really quick.
Your watch is not ticking, it's like paused. Which means someone's talking to the owl.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Oh, I thought I was in trouble for a second. Okay. Can I just, I'm tempted to just leave and just walk out of the room and leave this man.
You hear a voice.
Oh, goodness. I listen.
You broke my machine. And Athena's pet is stronger than I assumed.
Who am I speaking to?
That is no way to address the gods.
I don't have anything to burn. I throw, like, a hammer in the forge.
Better than some.
How are you talking right now?
I'm not. I am frozen like the rest of the world.
But not quite at the same time.
No. I'm reaching out to you, as you're in my temple.
That's fair. Thanks for having me.
What are you, little godling, with weapons so mighty that they could break my machine?
To be fair, I didn't know it would do that.
And so foolish.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking for something here. Something that doesn't belong. And we're just trying to make things right. Without causing too much of a stir, which I'm obviously failing at.
I have heard of your kind. Fixers. Menders of worlds. Looked down upon. I can relate.
That's the best way I've heard it put, to be honest. How do you know?
You broke my machine.
That's been established.
And I heard its cries. And so I know very much about you, little godling. And your strange axe. Stronger than Kronos. Made from a material outside of time. A material that is almost time itself.
Yeah.
A true god-slaying weapon. It is a masterpiece.
Well, I had no part in it. I just use it.
As so many warriors do.
Speaking of tools that need using, your son probably needs this fixed. Desperately, it seems.
I think, perhaps, that you have more power to fix... And then it's gone. And he's like, what do I do? He just, like, sits in a chair.
Did you hear anything just now?
What? The machine breaking? Yeah, I think the whole fucking Athenaeum heard it.
No, Oh, you're probably right. We should probably go.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably... And then the doors open. And there's, like, this girl standing there. And her hair is, like, a bright green color. And as it goes down over her shoulders, it looks like it is just a bunch of, like, very luscious leaves. And then her lower half looks really fluffy, and she's got little deer legs. And she, like, puts her hands on her hips, and she goes, what in the ever-loving fuck is this?
Sorry, we were studying.
Choke on it. What the fuck did you do?
Looks at Undel.
Undel goes, we put a piece of the oracle inside of the oracle. She goes, why would you fucking do that? What the fuck is wrong with you fucking children? Get out of here. I'm gonna write you both up and I'm gonna tell the principal about this.
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
She goes, wait, no? What are your names?
Andel, Barry.
She looks at you and she goes, you know what? It's just easier if I take you myself. Come on, we're going to the principal's office right now.
I can't do that. Click.
So as Jaeger turns away from speaking to the owl, as Trinket and Sam slowly come out of time stopping itself, a few seconds later, you guys all, as you're like walking to whatever destination you are headed to, feel a crushing wave roll over you as you're back in the clock tower on the couch.
Yep, sorry, that was me.
Oh, wait, did you get sent to the principal's office too?
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't just me this time. Let's go.
I blew up a item reading machine made by a god.
I got an item from a god.
Oh!
You see a golden arrow on the table in front of the
Holy
clock
shit,
tower.
my item from the god! One sec. Walks over and grabs the arrow.
Hey.
But I don't know what it does. So, you said the machine?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was following my buddy Undel to the workshop, and he's got this big old table with a bunch of magnifying glasses and reading things all over it. He said it's something that he uses to inspect magical items and god-made things and whatnot.
Sam leans in closer.
It's very sensitive. Like, very sensitive. We put my axe under there to inspect it.
Would you put the clock tower weapon underneath the thing
I was curious
Yeah.
as I looked at Sam.
No. Like, listen, I'm with Berret on this one. Sometimes you just gotta know.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, I think we've established that we kill gods all the time, don't we? So wouldn't that put us like kind of above gods at that point?
Kind of.
At least on the
I felt like it would kind of help
scale.
this guy out. I felt like it would kind of give him a reason to trust me, or maybe the opposite. I don't really know what I was doing. I was kind of just winging it. It was very sensitive, like I said, and it exploded. Then somebody started asking the owl some questions.
Oh, hi. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Good to know. That's very
helpful.
surprising.
Yeah, I didn't plan on it, but I tried to ask a god, and then the owl said, "No, that's my coin instead." And so I said, "Oh shit."
Where'd you find her, by the way?
It was a statue
Oh,
of Athena, I think the name was, and there was an owl on the statue, and it seems like the owl works with this goddess very closely.
interesting.
Huh.
Side note: the way that they choose teams for the finals is essentially on a list that is somewhere in the school. I'm assuming it's probably the principal's office.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it's on a list. If we can get to that list, we can change the names on it and put ourselves on a team together. But it should be a group of 5.
Yeah, I have a plan maybe, but I think I also maybe should talk to the owl since we have found them for a change, and I have a lot of coins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe tell us the plan? Maybe we can start putting it into place while you go ask the owl.
I mean, all right.
One more bit of information. While you were talking to the owl, the god Hephaestus was talking to me.
So we're just talking to gods now.
Yeah, they were frozen, but they had enough time to talk to me, I guess. I don't really know how that works. They didn't seem quite too affected by it. Enough to be annoyed to talk to me. So take that into note. They don't seem to be they affected by time differently. So
we go back into the mission, but we go back into the mission before you blew up his machine?
yes, and maybe, we can all, he said he could adjust it to make it so it would be able to read this thing properly. He said there's just one thing he didn't do, which is probably why it exploded. But I don't know. That might be an option. We could figure some other things out that aren't as powerful as our weapons.
So why don't we say where we all are so the rest of us know, in case for coordination purposes. And then what was the plan, Trinket?
Okay. So this is what I think. And I'm open to suggestions, but Sam, you can turn invisible?
Yeah.
Ooh. So I think I can get the principal super distracted by having my new friend just start talking to them. And we could sneak in there and edit the lists.
That makes sense. Also, if you go in there, it probably should be you, considering your lat.
I can go in with her and you can do the thing.
That's a good idea.
That's why I was trying to find you, because I think that you can do this sneakily. Because I'm not sure how else we would be able to get access, unless anybody else has an idea.
What were you going to ask the owl?
I kind of want to make sure it's in there first, before we go and do that.
Okay, that's a good idea. That way we're not wasting any of that invisibility time.
Also, maybe figure out what kind of mission it is.
Yeah. The gods also knew what we were. Yeah.
Well, they're gods.
They didn't... at least Hephaestus didn't seem all that deterred by our presence. He seemed kind of... I don't know.
Apollo seems pretty chill.
Yeah, he seemed almost empathetic.
I mean, that kind of solves one of my concerns. The main thing is, I was worried if we were going to start, doing agent stuff, we might attract some untoward attention, but if at least one of them is fairly, if not supportive, then benign to us, then...
Undel seems very cautious and skeptical, but as soon as that weapon came out, he was all on board and wanted nothing to do but talk to me about it, so... I don't know, that's the carrot on the stick for him, I guess.
Also, if we are going to do the plan, I haven't tried it before, but I think I can make someone else invisible with me. So, if we need a quick escape or what have us.
True. Now, the other thing is, who do we want our fifth person to be? What's going to happen, I think, is whoever comes with us is automatically going to pass, because...
We can keep trying over and over again.
That too.
Well,
except that the flame of Prometheus.
Your talkative friend seems like they're not going to have much trouble. They seem pretty able.
Well, she's like, I don't know. When I told her that everyone was going to die at the end of the week, she seemed pretty upset.
I think that's just kind of be the going case.
I just don't feel like she's a fighter, really.
Yeah, but with what she's got going on, she doesn't need to fight from what I can tell.
I love a scout, I would say.
And Undel was pretty certain that he was going to fucking die and fail this test miserably.
Maybe they're made to on purpose.
I mean, the maze, what the teacher was saying, the lights all throughout the maze, right? It turns off all their powers.
Oh, she can't fly in there, too.
So she'd be really not...
I mean, I still think that she might be useful if she sticks with you. I mean, if you put your lantern with her...
Like, I'm not, like, basically whoever we're bringing with us, we're just giving them help.
Right.
I don't think anyone we're going to bring with us is going to be able to help us I don't think we need help.
Yeah,
Well, what if we split up into 2 teams
that might work.
and we just meet up? And then we have that much more muscle when we get in there.
I mean,
Work.
it's not like we can't, well, I don't know if my magic will work in that light. I think it should, but I can also test that. Well, then I'll find out if I walk in invisible and it turns it off. And we can cast flares and stuff.
Who knows? Maybe Undel might be able to help us with our weapons and make them just as powerful, or using our magic or something.
Sure.
He might be able to help us out with our tools at least.
Mm-hmm.
A team of 10 will be better than a team of 5.
Yeah.
Then, in that case, since you have those bullets and now that bullet arrow, do you want to go meet up with Berret and then we can enact the plan?
Makes sense.
We were at the workshop.
All right, I'm leaving. The hall of the gods is where you can find the statues with all the.
Okay, we'll go do that first.
You have to look for
Talk to that
Athena.
Yeah.
All right.
Works for me.
Cool. So I'll set this back before I got into trouble.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And before I exploded that thing, Oracle.
Also, can I very quickly just use my pocket watch to see and do it so that we won't be falling?
Sure. Go right ahead. You guys are falling?
Because if you do it, you see it from Sam's perspective to know exactly where you need to go. But then you don't know from Berret's perspective if you line up.
We can
whether-
check.
Oh, you just fucking cross-reference? Genius.
So, I'd like to find the intersection point between us being on the ground and right before Berret puts the axe in the oracle.
Berret puts the axe in the oracle almost the exact time that you're falling. Which might be why you never heard an explosion, because you heard Chloe hit the fucking building.
Yeah. Well, from what it looks like, we're going to have to be midair. I think I can get all 3 of us, Chloe included, if you want. Or you could, I mean, we know she's fine. You just let her hit the ground. But
Well, if we're going to try and, get people on our team, we might need to show them a little bit of our hand. These guys got hardcore trust issues, it seems, and we need to be able to use these abilities and not have to explain ourselves during the test. So we might need to have to ease them into what we are a little bit without giving them everything, obviously. This seemed to work kind of okay in past missions, so I don't know.
I mean, when Sam used magic before, they kind of went on that whole Child of Kronos.
well, they were specifically, I think it was because I used some, like, my very brief dip into healing magic. But so far, when I played a game of Disc with some Zeus kids. I say kids, they're like full-grown people.
They just act like
They
children.
just act like children. But they didn't seem to care, and then when I floated Trinket and they didn't seem to care. I think it's just as long as it's not overtly negative or highly disruptive.
I could also ask Undel if he knows anything about mirrors or flames or whatever, but I don't know.
We gotta figure it out, so
Yeah. All right. Do we have a plan?
get ready to catch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam psychs themselves up and okay.
And go.
We all go through.
Okay. As you go through, Sam and Trinket, you're both falling.
If we time it right so I'm just arriving in range, I want to wait just slightly so that Chloe is also in range and hit all 3 of us with Featherfall.
Okay. As you both start floating, and she is kind of caught in the web of Featherfall, and her wings are kind of just not propelling her as fast as they were. She is able to avoid the statue and then land gracefully on her feet with the 2 of you as she goes, "What was that? How did that happen?"
Good landing.
Was it me? And she looks at her hands. As meanwhile, Berret, you go to put the axe in the oracle and you come to consciousness with your hand reaching out towards the oracle.
You know what? This is a really nice gift from my dad.
Yeah, and we can figure out exactly what it does if we put it in the oracle,
Right.
where we can examine it.
Maybe you should adjust it a little bit.
How? Please.
Maybe
You think it's that nice of a gift from your dad? None of the gods love any of us that much.
Well, I mean, this is a gift from your dad, isn't it? It's pretty neat.
He looks at the oracle and then, like, looks at you and then kind of, like, looks up and goes, okay, how much should I adjust the oracle? How strong do you think this gift from your dad is?
Why don't we just go to the maximum ability as you possibly can, and we'll adjust from there.
It doesn't really work like that. You have to, if you start going above a certain threshold, you have to adjust multiple things at once. It becomes very difficult. I would need help.
You need help?
Yeah. I mean, if your axe is not that strong.
I squint at him.
Roll a persuasion check.
8.
It would have to be something on par with like Zeus's lightning bolt for me to be having to manually adjust it past its maximum level.
Yeah.
Here, I'll set it to its maximum level, okay? How about that? And then we'll see if I need to adjust it on the fly.
Thank you.
Okay. And Undel goes over to the machine and like tweaks some things and turns some things, a lot of which you don't understand. He grabs an axe, or he grabs a hammer from nearby, and he like gives 2 bonks on like this little piece that he adjusts to the inside that seems like it was going really stiff, and he goes, there. It's set. And he seems like this is extremely overkill.
Okay. As I like put the axe on the pedestal.
You see the machine handles it much better this time. All of the different consecutive rings and lenses start to adjust, but then a little bit later it starts screeching and starts freaking out.
Can I take it off the pedestal?
You reach to grab it? He goes, no, don't touch it! And he starts he grabs this handle and he just pulls, and you see a bunch of steam pressure get released from somewhere. You're like, what the fuck? And he goes over and he start shoveling coal into that entrance right now.
You got it.
As he starts trying to do, he's moving this crank, and you have no idea what all is going on with this machine, but you see it's starting, your axe is starting to glow, and the machine is starting to vibrate, and the stone around it is starting to rumble as he starts telling it, he's like, I need you to go over and pull that lever, and I need you to pull it as hard as you can, really hard. And he starts doing something else, and then do you go over to pull that lever? He goes, no, you can't stop shoveling coal. And then it starts, you're like,
gotcha.
Oh, I see where this is gonna go.
Multiple people.
It starts making the sound that you heard it make right before, and then it explodes. Except now he was right next to it, and so there are pieces of Undel around you now.
After I get back up.
Ow.
I the axe back in my hand, and I take out my watch. And I wait. I look at the door, and I I should just click it. Click.
Salmon trinket.
Sorry, guys.
You guys land. You see that Chloe is like, did I do that? And then she's like, guys, I've unlocked a new ability as a gift from my father. I can slow myself in mid-flight.
But before you do that, remember, we should probably go ask the gods. Maybe he can give you some more instruction. Or we can actually, you know what? You should go thank him.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna do that. And then you guys do hear an explosion in the distance.
Sam looks at Trinket. Well, if it's not that bad yet, I guess we can just keep going.
What are you guys talking about?
Never mind.
And then a crushing wave. You guys find yourself back in the clock tower. Hey, it's me, Ellie again. And it's you, the listener. Thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying the show. And as an independent artist, and ClockTower as a small group of independent artists, it's very, very difficult to create right now. So that's why I, at least personally, am working extra hard, not only to create more, but also to study and practice my own art so that the things I do create are even better. If for no other reason than to look at the things I've made and go, yeah, that's not half bad. Or, to quote Sam, I think I've done well here. And we here at the Clock Tower want to see the things you've created. So if you ever are so inclined, head over to our Discord and share your own art or artistic endeavors. And now, on to credits. If you'd like to work with us, contact us through our website, ClockTowerAgent.com. If you want to learn more about the art behind ClockTower, check out youtube.com/@ClockTower Art and Animation. Berret was played by Bink, Sam was played by Cal, Trinket was played by Kball, Jaeger was played by Trent, and I, Ellinthris, was your DM. The voice of our disclaimer is Valik Donahew. You can check out all of his work at patreon.com/themadlanddreamer. All music from Season 1 of Clock Tower, and some additional songs made for Season 2 of Clock Tower, made by Who's Music. If you'd like your own D&D music commissioned, you can contact them through their website, whosisthis.com, or find it in the description below. Thanks, Who's! Additional music and effects provided by Andrew Smith and Cal. Thank you to our editing team and Cal for making the episodes what they are. Thank you to our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. The Clock Tower test on our website was programmed by Mike LeMay. You can check out his work at thinklikeMike.com. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon. And thank you again for listening. Clock Tower Season 2, Episode 53, will be out for all of our early episode patrons on April 11th and will release publicly on April 18th. Till then, time's ticking. See you in the Clock Tower.